Red took the lead 2-1. DeMusliM even things out on Antigua Shipyard, and I'm proud of these two guys either way because I think they played a fantastic series so far. And Ben, I really can't wait to figure out who's going to take it.
Man, no result is one to be sad about. These guys playing some excellent StarCraft, and you know what? It's just they both deserve to be at the final. They're both going to show us some great games. I hope that we get one final barn burner on Ohana, and well, what else can you say, man? Let's do this. Let's cast some StarCraft, Kev. One more time.
One time, baby. DeMusliM is of course the blue Terran in the right bottom side of Ohana, and Liquid's red is our Dutch Zerg spawning in the left top side of this map. We started at 6, I believe it's 1 AM right now. We cast it, and let's count, Ben. 5, 3, 5, 5. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. No, wait, we have.
This is game number 23 for us.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We casted 23 games on the row. That's pretty baller.
We just recreated half of Sase's MMLG run.
Wow. Sase. What a man. DeMusliM is going to most likely open up once more with Hellions into Fast Expand, and I'm curious to see how Red's going to play, Ben, if he's once more going for a super quick tree-based style. And I was still a little bit surprised that he went for Brute Lords over Ultras, despite having all the upgrades for the Zerglings. But perhaps it's because DeMusliM has been playing so Marauder heavy.
Well, you know, you got to remember that the melee upgrades still work for the Broodlings, and they make Axelav calls them scratch upgrades. Makes those Broodlings very scratchy and annoying.
I understand.
But you know, I don't know. I think it wasn't so much the choice of Ret to go Brood Lords as it was the choice of Ret to not build any Banelings, because the Infestors just weren't cutting it against that much bio with Medivacs. That much bio with that many Medivacs.
And DeMusliM once more displaying such a macro-heavy TVZ style on Antigua. It's kind of crazy. Kind of blows me away, Ben. Wow, is this drone actually going to expand as well? Ugh. Red, what are you going to do with this drone? What you going to do with this drone? Just want to make sure perhaps he's not facing any crazy Turex. That would be something at the end of a day like this.
Yeah.
That was a way to go out with a bang. But that's not going to be the case. DeMusliM once more is going to open up much more steady than that. We see the refinery, we see the factory, reactor is going down. And now we already pulled the SCVs from gas, just mining a tiny little bit. So you can drop that command center as quick as possible.
Yep, command center going to be built right there at the low ground, it looks like. So DeMusliM going to do it the old-fashioned way. He says, hey, if command centers couldn't fly, I would always build them here.
Starships were meant to fly. I would still pick my command center. Something like that, man. Spinecrawler being morphed in for Red. And perhaps a little bit worried, since DeMusliM did go for a pretty big run by on Antigua early on and picked off a lot of drones that definitely set the pace of that game.
Man.
Forced Red to delay everything just a tiny bit.
If we were to talk about keys to DeMuslim's success on Antigua, I think one of the biggest things that he does phenomenally well is his bunker placement. We've talked, if you look at every Ret game we've ever casted, we've talked countlessly about how he loves to counterattack with Zerglings.
Yep.
We also talked about how DeMusliM and Ret have practiced together a lot in the past.
Yeah, and how DeMusliM already was talking about that.
And he just knew that a Zergling run by would end his day, and he had beautiful bunker placement. Bunkers were always covered by depots, so Lings could never surround and kill them and just do critical damage to an expansion. That kept DeMusliM in the game. Ret tried to run by like 6 times, and every time DeMusliM handled it.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right. I mean, I remember the days when DeMusliM was still living with me in Germany, and he was practicing a lot with Red already. And then back then, even like when they used to play on Lost Temple, not even the Shadow Temple, Red was always doing it. And it took DeMusliM a few games to get used to, because often the moment he would move out, he would just focus on his army. Was afraid to like see his army catch off guard. But Red was always the one running links straight away into his main base. And then DeMusliM said back then already, he's always doing this. It's so annoying. I don't understand why not more Zergs do it. And nowadays you do see it becoming a little bit more common, but Red is still a true pioneer in that case.
Always ahead of the curve, man.
That makes champions, right, man?
It does. Red is a champion.
He is in multiple games.
Yes. Was a legendary Brood War pro within the foreigner scene, one of the only guys to ever go to Korea and have any semblance of success.
Just droning up as much as he can, and it's going to be Mutalist this game for
man, actually, this is a super fast Muta build, Kev. Did he This is mind-blazingly fast. Like, I'm sorry that I wasn't paying closer attention to the build, but he went straight to the lair, and this is a 7-minute Spire, and DeMusliM is not going to expect this at all.
And DeMusliM is opening out Banshees as well, so that's definitely not going to work in his favor. As we all know, that Mutas are pretty much the dream scenario to Banshees.
Yeah.
Halian's kind of wondering, what's going on?
Remember in Sao Paulo when we went and we played StarCraft at Run's house and Snoot made fun of my 2-base Muta build? This is that build. This is the build that Snoot was making fun of. And situationally it can be very good.
Well, Ben, Snoot making fun of anything. It's already kind of ironic.
In this situation, it is pretty good. Muta's going to be going up against Banshees and Hellions, and there's just nothing back at home for DeMusliM. He is throwing down double eBay, and he's walling off at the front, but I don't think this is in preparation for the Mutas. This is just kind of a cute little Sim City he's got going there. Spire's going to finish. Rhett's got enough money for 7 Mutas, maybe even 8. And yeah, it's going to be 8 Mutas. This is going to be pretty cool. Scan goes down by DeMusliM, and he's not going to see the Spire, so he doesn't know.
Well, still doesn't see it with neither with the Banshee. This is going to be crazy. DeMusliM is going to be very surprised. Now he's finally going for the run by with those 5-6 Hellions and those 2 Banshees. He's going to be able to pick up the Queens, but the Mutas are more than halfway done.
DeMusliM saw something.
Wow.
Maybe the fact that it's 4 gas, 2 base, he knows. And he is throwing up turrets back at home, so Muta's not going to be as brutally effective as maybe they could have
but
been.
These Banshees are going to fall immediately. They did kill they did kill 2 Queens and forced a lot of additional links, but this is going to be quite nice for Red, and Red should be able to keep DeMusliM on 2 bases for quite a while.
Yeah, he will, Kev, but look at all these turrets DeMuslim's building. DeMuslim's got the better... Actually, this is weird. Yeah. This might just reset the game.
DeMusliM has 1 more Banshee as well, which is going to be pretty much useless.
I mean, Red's not going to get in here. There's just too many turrets. DeMusliM, this is a perfect reaction to what he saw. It's just
not underreacting.
Exactly. Maybe overreacting, but it's okay because it keeps the Mutas out of his face completely, and it allows him to just stabilize. Now he can use any units that he has to allow him to eventually work up to taking that 3rd base. Rhett, meanwhile, is working on a 3rd of his own. 51 drones to 47 SCVs, but 2 base to 2 base. That's going to favor Terran for the time being.
Red will be able to pick up this, but no, he won't be able to pick up that Banshee. DeMusliM having turrets literally everywhere. Wow, DeMusliM threw up like 8 or 9 turrets. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think.
I think that was the perfect response, man. Like he was not in a position where he could deal with this with his units. Turrets were the only answer he had, and this is going to keep Rhett out of his face for the time being. Rhett adding a few more drones. He was going to try and saturate this base.
By DeMusliM. DeMusliM scans that base, knows that Red is expanding once more, but DeMusliM is still not dropping additional command centers. So DeMusliM wants to do something on 2 bases. Red has to be careful. He cannot fight these missile turrets. There are just too many of them.
Oh, he actually finds an opening, manages to kill 2, and this is going to force DeMusliM to abandon his main for a little while. A lot of SCVs are going to fall, and there's not many Marines. There's no stem. There's no combat shields. There's no upgrades. These Mutas can fight these Marines, Kevin. I don't know if Rhett realizes it. Instead, he's just going to pick off a couple of depots and vacate. Yeah, he's thinking about it.
He's buying a lot of time for himself. That's, of course, the most important thing. More missile turrets going up. Risky decision by Red, but in the end of the day, it was a perfect read by him, realizing.
Did pay off, yeah.
But imagine if DeMusliM would have responded quicker and repaired those Mutas.
That would have been bad. He would have lost probably all the Mutas, but DeMusliM was a little bit slow.
Yep. Even though I guess Red wouldn't just let his Mutas die there. Red's going to try to do the same thing once more, but this time it won't be successful. Still no additional command centers going up for the DeMusliM band. Still no new orbiter or any signs that he wants to expand. There are a few Zerglings over here as well. Red has absolute map control, has complete map vision, knows everything that's going on, and the DeMusliM is just cornered to his little corner of the map.
Yeah, and this is working out better and better for Rhett. While DeMusliM avoided taking any real damage from the initial Mutas, he's not been able to take back any of the map control. And I guess the stem and the bio upgrades being so delayed is what's actually hurting him right now. Rhett's working on 2-2. He's also getting Baneling speed. And right now, I'm thinking back to all the Demaga games we've seen in the past. Muta's making another reappearance in the natural expand of DeMusliM. But we've got to make note of something critical, Kev. DeMuslim's not built a single siege tank. He doesn't have any Marauders. It's just pure Marines right now, Marines and Medivacs. And if Rhett were to do something like make 60, 70 Banelings and just go, how does DeMusliM stop it?
It would be impossible to stop. First siege tank is on the way, but even that's going to take quite a while. Actually, DeMusliM did have a 3rd command center band. Sorry, I've been blind apparently.
Yeah, you built it very early.
Ah, and you never corrected me.
No, I thought we knew about it.
No, I said several times that I didn't know.
I thought you just meant he wasn't going to take a third base, but he was stuck.
Well, that I did mean too, but I didn't know he actually had the orbiter on his base. Sorry guys, been casting for 7 hours and those things could potentially happen.
It does happen. 7-hour days, man, happens to the best of us. Marines are going to chase these mutas out.
So slowly but steady, the DeMusliM is actually recovering quite a bit. We see 2-2 upgrades and combat shield is almost ready. 2-2 is on the way for Red. Just as you pointed out, Ben, if Red would make a ton of banelings, does he have Baneling? Yeah, he has
got baneling speed's done.
The DeMusliM still, he's 2 siege tanks right now, 3rd siege tank is almost out, but just now, Ben, he's starting his siege tech. He actually never researched siege mode.
Red dumping all of his gas into additional upgrades and more mutas, so I don't think we're going to see a big commitment to banelings.
This is how Red used to play back in the days, just with a ton of mutalisks. That's how he used to love playing ZVT. He's going to be able to pick up this factory even. It's going to slow down the production possibilities of the DeMusliM quite a bit. God, Red has so many mutalisks.
This muta ball is really scary. Now he's just going to fight the Marines because his numbers are a little bit overwhelming. Loses some mutas, but does a lot of damage. He still has 28 mutalisks on the map. DeMusliM sending more Marines up. This time Red's going to back off, but not a big deal, man. And we can
Red is maxed out. Red is playing this so well. This is how Red loves to play. It just feels like he's in control of the entire game, and the DeMusliM is just trying to answer to the things that Red has to do. But ever since the DeMusliM opened up with Banshees and they were not able to deal the damage that he would like to do, I mean, opening up with 3 Banshees is a huge investment for Terran, and he was just not able to really get anything out of it. Since Red went the perfect scenario against it.
2-2's done, and this is when Red's gonna go for it. Beautiful timing right now. Banelings, Zerglings, and Mutas, oh my, they're gonna come crashing into DeMusliM, and how much damage will they do?
Banelings rolling in, the DeMusliM spreading out pretty well, but there are still quite a few Banelings alive, and there are so many Zerglings in the 3rd base of the DeMusliM.
3rd base is just gonna be crushed, and DeMuslim's supply is plummeting. And this has been a great series, but it looks like Red is going to be the guy that comes out on top. Everything is surrounded. Units are melting away. DeMusliM has played a great series. He's shown a great season, but he taps out. GG. Red Jos de Kroon, the Dutch Zerg player, takes out DeMusliM 3-2. Yeah. Man.
What a sick series. I don't even know what to say.
What can you say? What can you say, Kev? I don't think there's really words, man. All we can say is that it's been an amazing season at the North American Star League. Our last broadcast from the studio. We now have a top 8. We know exactly who it's going to be. We know exactly what the bracket's going to look like. We could probably even pull that graphic up and show you guys if we want to. And Kev's going to pull up the bracket for us.
I'm not actually sure if I have an updated version or not, but we can just take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll look at the old one and we'll just tell everybody what the matchups are going to be for the final.
I think this is the updated bracket.
Hey, how about them apples?
Yeah. So guys, if we could switch over to my screen once more, we could tell you guys our final 8. The guys we are going to see in Toronto. Puzzle versus Red, Alicia versus Huck, Puma versus MC, and Stefano versus Hero. That's a pretty stacked tournament, Ben.
That's a pretty ridiculous top 8. Stefano, Hero, that's a pretty big dream match.
Yes.
Winner goes on to play Puma or MC. That is the sickest bottom half of the graphic I've ever seen, or bottom half bracket. Puzzle Ret should be an incredible match. It's going to be very hard for Ret. Puzzle's playing some impeccable StarCraft right now. And then Alicia Huck, the hometown favorite.
Wow, that's going to be the craziest really PvP series.
Korean Protoss player. It is going to be intense. I expect we'll see a lot of DTs out of Huck. And I have no idea what Alicia's going to do.
Either way, man, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Once more, I really enjoyed everything today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not sure what else we're going to do.
Yeah, we're not completely done. We're going to take a very short break, and then we're going to come back, close out the everything before we gear up for the big trip to Toronto. So please, guys, hang with us for just 5 more minutes. Short commercial break, and then our closing thoughts when we get back.